Welcome everybody to my Bajerski YouTube channel. What a glorious day it is today. Real clouds, beautiful, really nice. Temperature is just a little bit cooler than normal here in the Costa del Sol, in the Spanish mountains, in the Andalusia. It's beautiful. Anyway, today it's with great joy I mentioned yesterday that I'd got a lovely announcement to make today, and it is. This time of year is always a beautiful time for me, not only on reflection to what we've done over this year, but also what I'm looking at here right in front of my eyes is something that I am extremely proud of each year. So my intention, Matt Bajerski, as a healer, when I started 38 years ago, was to heal people from severe trauma, deep-rooted issues that the medical industry couldn't see, didn't know how to tackle, and basically led them on their way down a path of goodbye, but there's nothing we can do. So many of my clients who came to me came at a point where they had no hope. So my mission was to help, and the reason why is because my mum died when I was 12 years old of cancer, stomach cancer, and I watched her go through that process from going to Leeds, Cookeridge, going through the chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and it was challenging to watch. So I guess when I stepped into this field purely by accident, or one would say synchronicity, I just got into this field of work by people saying, one lady said, "You've healed me," and I said, "No, I haven't healed you." She said, "You have." And what could be more beautiful than not knowing you've healed somebody and you have? Isn't that the most beautiful form of healing? That's what set me off on my path of healing. That day I just thought about what she said. Those words were so profound to me. Like, am I a healer? Is it possible? Did I? And there was 3 occasions prior to that a woman brought 3 different ladies at different times, and they all said the same thing, that they felt a buzzing or a kind of wave of energy when she brought them to me. And she said, "I'd like to, teach you healing and the world of spirituality and learn about who you are and what you're doing," because I had no idea what I was doing. But from that moment on, I said, "Okay, sounds interesting. It sounds intriguing." And not everybody could be lying. So from that moment on, I started learning the art of healing people, listening to people, and feeling energy. And along that journey, just by accident, again, I was gifted a crystal. And I played with this crystal in my pocket, and for some reason, as I was learning the healing and giving healing and trying to understand what energy was and how it worked in the body, and how really important it is to clear bad energy, and what bad energy is, and what is the energy of nightmares, what is the energy of illness, what is the energy of trauma. And as you work as a healer, you get to familiarize yourself with certain feelings of energy that's coming off your client. So I found myself placing this crystal just by a natural, just putting the crystal on my client as I was doing the healing work. And it so happens that a little girl took this crystal after weeks of me working with this crystal without me even knowing I was working with this crystal, without me even realizing that I was putting energy into this crystal, and the crystal itself had good energy. And that combination, the little girl grabbed it and took it with her, and her mother called me and said, "You're not going to believe this. My daughter doesn't suffer with night terrors anymore, and the only thing that's changed over these years is the crystal that she took off you." And that got me thinking about crystals. And from that moment on, I started buying crystals and seeing if this was real, if it was true. And sure enough, week by week, month by month, year by year, I would gift people crystals which I felt were right for whatever they were going through, and working on them crystals with clients without even realizing. The universe is incredible when you just sit back and just watch and observe and see what happens. As soon as I worked with a crystal, and that crystal might have worked on 5 different people with the same issue, tinnitus, then I ended up giving that very crystal to somebody without knowing who had tinnitus, and their tinnitus just eased. So, and so on. Every disease, every sickness, every illness, every emotion, suffering, trauma, I was creating crystals that were seemingly getting ready for people that I would just give them to as a gift. Not to know, not to understand, and not to think about it, and not to even contemplate where this is going. By chance and by the demand, people were saying, can you work on my crystal? And I'll say, yeah, of course I can. I'm working in the room, so why not? I can put crystals on my clients. And so I did that. And eventually people were saying, can you get me a crystal? And I'm like, okay, I'll get a crystal then. And can you work on it? I said, yeah, I can work on it. And would it be okay if I buy one off you? Because I want to buy one from my brother and my sister and my mum, and I want to buy one from my friend. And okay, maybe I should buy a few more crystals and work on them and then see what happens. And eventually I opened Bajerski.com as a shop and started putting crystals there. And over the years, it never happened all at once, but it just nice and steady. People used to go to the website, and prior to that, I was on Facebook. I had 57,000 followers at that time before they took me off for speaking the truth about things that I said, please don't do, because it might cause a bad effect. Many listened and very thankful. Some just called me a namesayer and a fearmongerer. But predominantly most people were very thankful for that. And when I just put a crystal on the channel and say, oh, I've got a crystal for sale, I've worked on this crystal for so long, might have been 50 hours, whatever, it's been in the healing room, I've worked minimum 50 hours because I used to have a tree, a metal tree, and the first tier of the tree which I used to hang the crystals on was 10 hours, the next one was 20 hours, so after I'd done 10 hours it would go all the way around and say, okay, now it goes up one level, and when it get to, there was like 5 levels, so when it get to 30, 40 and I felt they were ready for sale, I just take a photograph of one, put them on YouTube, on Facebook, and they sell within 3 seconds. So I thought, I wonder if I should put them on my website and create a website, a shop website. Everybody else was selling things. I thought, okay, I'll do that, and maybe somebody might feel it on the website. And sure enough, it never stopped. It sort of grew and grew. So it organically grew, never wanting to make money through this, but it happened as a residue, as a beautiful gift at the end of the work. What I used to do when I first started doing this is I used to charge people and say to them, this is the price of the crystal, but I can buy 3 more crystals now for the price of that. And I said, and with that 3 crystals, I'm going to work on all 3 of them and either gift 1 or 2 and then sell the 3rd one. And that's never stopped. So I'm here today, and for those who like to point the finger, who call me, who say nasty things about me day to day, I'd like to put a challenge out there. And that challenge is this: go away and find any healer like myself who works with crystals on a daily basis, who uploads thousands of videos daily of love and support and of all that I've learned with crystals, talked about how to work with them, talk about life in general, talk about health and well-being, talk about spirituality, talk about energy, and freely giving all of this, but at the same time, not only freely giving the time, but also giving away to people who have no money at all, crystals on a daily basis. So I challenge you, for those who name call and say nasty things and say I'm, a cheat and a fraud, I'll challenge you today. I want you to find a healer like myself who does what I do, a psychic healer. I don't want to say I'm not a psychic. I say I call myself a psychic, which I prefer to call myself a healer, but I do psychic work, so I want you to find somebody, go out there, go across the whole of the world and ask any of those healers in 1 year, how much do they gift to people who have nothing? So the girls at work have just sent me, this is why I'm happy again. I said to them yesterday, how many crystals have we given away? How many oils, incense books have we given away? Could you add it all up into monetary value and tell me what it is? So I'm going to tell you what 2023 we gifted in those things in a monetary value. In euros, it is 130,008 euros. So I challenge the gobs, the big gobs, the pointy fingers, the judgmentals, and hop along now and go and find somebody and ask yourself, what have you done this year for those that have nothing? It might make you think twice when you open your gob and start spouting a load of nonsense. So I want to celebrate today, and it will not stop, and it does not stop, and it continues every day. But I just thought that's a beautiful thing to share, not out of ego, not out of pride, but out of love. And that Mark hasn't changed since the age of 38 years old. He's still doing exactly the same thing. It's just grown organically out of love. That's it. But he still continues to upload videos. He still continues to give people who have nothing. And that is who I am. And maybe that's why I was called the healer of hearts. That was given to me by many people who said it. And I don't embrace it enough, but maybe I should. There's so many people screaming and shouting about how amazing and fantastic they are. Do I need to do that? No, I don't. Did I need to do this video? Not really. But it is joyful to know that you contribute. You who go to markbajerski.com are the contributors, are the main contributors to this, because without you, this would never happen. So I don't take this as me, I take it as you. I take it as the family that we are. Some days we're flush and some days we're not so flush. And on them days when we're not flush, then it's nice to have people who are able to give back. And I think that's a lovely exchange of energy. And one which my first mentor said, the energy of exchange, the universal energy of exchange is a beautiful thing. So I guess I want to thank everybody, because I guess it's nearly New Year's, right? It's nearly the end of the year, apparently. So maybe this should be a New Year's message of huge thank you to everybody who sees me. And to the rest, I send you my love. I wish you well, everybody. I really mean this, and I hope the next days hereafter become even more magical for you and more special. And remember, you've always got a friend here. You're in my heart, you're in my soul, you're in my thoughts. And next year will be an extra beautiful year for doing a lot of live healing sessions together. And hopefully I'll be helping many people who struggle in life with suffering, with not being able to have a baby, which we're just planning on doing that now to try and help you guys. And everybody else who is suffering one way or another through the knee-jerk reactions that we can't shake off, through the illnesses that are stuck to us that need to be swept away. So I wish you well. Take care, everybody. And thank you so much for participating in such a joyful occasion, to look at those numbers and think, wow, look what we did. So thank you so much. And on my heart, thank you so much. let's make next year even more powerful. Take care. Bye for now.